Greetings comrades, Soviet Gaming here. We have Eidolon guide today, so stay tuned, I'll give you all the secrets of those pretty companions you have. So okay, basically Eidolons are your companions, they give you stat boosts, they help you with attacks, they help you with additional skills, they are really useful and really valuable. They can be different tiers starting from the rare to the SR to the SSR. So far there are 3 rarities for those guys. Let's take a look how Eidolons work. Those are the stats of the Eidolons. When they are in your team, they do attack damage to the enemy. So they basically attack an enemy every once in a while. As long as they are not the leaders of your Eidolon squad, they will use their common skill. For Rebecca, it's 3-star roundhouse whip. So what's special about this skill? It have cooldown of 8 seconds, it does some damage, and it also increases your attribute. So for most Eidolons you will see this buff down here, and it's giving you this buff for 8 seconds with 8-second cooldown. Guess what? It will be available most of the time. Then they have the squad bonus. Basically this one on the right is being applied to you when you have Eidolon in your squad, doesn't matter if it's leader or not. So yeah, this one and this one are working all the time. Your Eidolon is in your squad, doesn't matter if he's leader or not. Now this is the leader skill. It's only available to use for you outside of PvP, and only if this Eidolon is your leader. It does massive amount of damage, and it has some additional stats as well. And you have to charge it up by fighting monsters, so if you use it after this time, every hit you do on the monster will charge it a little bit, and after some time it will be ready for action again. At 4 stars your Eidolons unlock additional skill down here, it's a basic boost to their stats, and at 5 stars they unlock one more over here. So those are the bonuses for your highly starred Eidolons. And over here you can see that Eidolons are transferring 1% of their stats to you. So all of those multiplied by 0.01 will be transferred directly to your stats. And also starting up your Eidolon increases its level cap, but it's kinda not that important for the newer players, because at start your Eidolons will be kept at your level, and their level cap at the 1 star is 150, so it shouldn't be major issue for you right now. When you have enough Eidolon fragments, you can evolve them and give them additional stars that will boost their stat a little bit and unlock additional properties. At 2 star they unlock equipment, the armor. So those are the bonuses that Eidolon is getting because of this item, and you can level it up, but it's kept at Eidolon's level as well. Armor gives Eidolon defensive stats, so other than the Eidolons you're using in Eidolon Temple, where they are your actual playable characters, I advise spreading that evenly among all Eidolons. That will give you a good defensive stat boost. Weapon though is different. At 3 stars your Eidolon will get weapon. It will give offensive stats to the Eidolon, and it's kinda more rare than the defense because those attack crystals are way more rare and expensive. You want to focus on your main Eidolon with this one and spread it a little bit on your Eidolon team. So for example, this is my main Eidolon squad right now, so I want to improve their attack as much as possible in order for them to do more damage in the combat. Fortifying Eidolons is basically increasing their level using the crystals. It's simple. Interacting, you answer some small questions in order to increase affinity a little bit. That will give them a little bit of stat boost. As you can see, it gave us 1 EP, really useful. So yeah, you can give your Eidolons presents, and that will increase their affinity, that will boost their stats. As you can see, there are stat bonuses, they are increasing as your affinity increases, and at some points, at some checkpoints, you will get presents from Eidolons. One of those boxes have 30 diamonds, 5 Eidolon XP fragments and 50 Eidolon defense crystals, so those are a little bit nice bonuses for you. I suggest focusing on your main Eidolon with affinity and then spreading it evenly among others in your team. So as you can see for Leona, I have, where is it? I have 2000 affinity already, and after that she won't give me any more free stuff. So at 2.5 we will get a new title for her, but that's not that important. Look at the stat bonuses, 40% bonus things, that's really nice. We talked a little bit about equipment already, and the re-roll. Basically you can change the secondary stat for diamonds and you will randomly get the new one. If you like it, you press replacement and it will be saved as a new stat. Honestly, I like the old one more, and I don't really care about this Eidolon that much anymore, so yeah, this is for the later game stages. Over here, the Eidolon menu, you can sort them based on the different stats they give, so for different classes you want to focus on different Eidolons. Honestly, the rare Eidolons are really rarely used because Maybe that's why they're called rare, because they are not as good as SR and they are even worse than SSR. SSRs are the best, they have the best skills in the game, so if you have some of those, that's really nice. Although when your SSRs are low star, you can equip them with equipment and they will have lower stats. Actually, Valk over here have really good attack in comparison with Rebecca, for example, who have the, well, not the highest level, but pretty high level equipment. So yeah, it's kinda up to you to decide later, I'll just tell you how it works. We'll go over specific SSR Eidolons a bit later, now let's go to the Eidolon squads. You can have up to 4 squads of Eidolons, basically you can tune them for different situations. The leader of the Eidolon squads gets affinity every 5 minutes, so when you click here you see that it gains 1 affinity every 5 minutes. So it's nice to level them to the maximum affinity per day and change to another one, so all of them will get that affinity and all of them will get that stat boost on your main team that will make you stronger. Give a like for the nice tips from the Soviet. Based on the class you would like to focus on different Eidolons. This is an attack build I have, so keep in mind that attack Eidolons have different stat boosts. For example, Mr. Argless here. I talked about it in the previous video, but if you take a look at him, he have that base attack bonus, alright? And base attack bonus is honestly kinda horrible because it doesn't give you 10%, 8% increase. From my calculations, on my current level and my current gear, 10% of base attack gives me about 0.6% additional attack, so that's like almost nothing. It's totally useless, to be honest. And his main skill that will be used every 8 seconds just deals additional damage of his own attack, so it's not that much as well. So, for example, he would be kinda useless for attack squad. Instead, I suggest for going for something like this. When deployed, player attacks have 10% chance of increasing attack by 6%. So I did some testing. While 10% base attack boost gives you 0.6%, it's actually giving 0.6% of your attack, of your current attack, because base attack is basically your character naked without wings, without equipment, without everything, blah blah blah, so it's a really low amount which you multiply. For example, this skill over here, which gives only 4% of attack boost, will give you 1.96 attack boost. Well, it gives me 1.96, so it's not 4% as well, because there are some things in play with numbers as well, but it's still way more than other skills. So yeah, don't expect a really high increase, but it will still be better than base stats. So I really suggest you going for Eidolons that have increased players attack by, or when deployed, player attacks have 10% chance of increasing attack by. That will give you better stats, that will give you more stats than base stats anyway. And it works for all, for critical, for attack, for health, for defense, whatever stat you're going for, you can use this rule for anything. So that's why I have the team combined out of the guys who have that major buffs over here, and it's buffing my attack by 15% and then giving additional bonuses that increasing target's damage, increasing my overall damage. So I think it's about 20-25% additional attack only from this team. And of course, for attack team, you would like to use Remayan, but she's really rare, I'm free to play, it's hard to get her, but her skills are amazing. Look at this, 8% attack, plus 15% chance to deal additional 50% damage of attack. I don't know which one, characters or Eidolons. Anyway, it's pretty good, right? And then she have this ability that gives additional percentage of attack and removes the debuff. And then she have pretty good ultimate that increases players' attack by 15% and targets damage taken by 8% for 8 seconds. God, this is OP, guys! So yeah, that would be attack team for you, and you would like to replace this spider with the Remayan if you got her. And why we have this critical lady Stacy over here? Because Stacy have that squad bonus that giving us additional all stats percentage when we do critical hit, and we do it quite often, so it should be okay. So all those bonuses stack, I tested that, even when I had one Eidolon, I was naked, I wasn't using any skills, I was attacking with an auto attack. Even one Eidolon skills stacked up, so that means that this 3-star precise strike can work several times, so it can give you not 6 but 12% instead. It depends on your luck and how often you hit, and for the characters that have the higher attack ratio, higher attack speed, it will be even better. Let's move on to defense team. For the crit build, you really would like someone like Alucard, блять. for someone like Alucard, because his skills are really OP, increase crit and crit damage, and over here he got additional crit increase, so it's OP as hell. If you would like to get him, your crit will be really good, and also have stun as ultimate, which would be really useful in the areas where you can stun the enemies basically. So yeah, this is pretty good. Stacy is good because she have that percentage increase of all stats each critical, so that should increase your base value for another attacks. Serval here is more of a defensive hero because his skills kinda lowering your critical damage taken, but his move speed buff is really good, so keep that in mind when you're farming, when you want to run from something. 8% move speed is really a lot. Mannequin is another good critical hero because she have that thing over here, increase player's crit for 3%. And this one, but this one increases only basic crit, so it shouldn't do that much. Morris Tuka, even though he is rare, his skills are really good. Chance to increase critical by 8% every attack, and increasing critical on his skill usage, so it's a really good bonus for the crit. Morning Dew Thorns isn't that good because it's more about accuracy and base critical, which is not good. And Blood Fang is more useful for his movement speed than for his crit damage boost because it's not that high. You might be wondering why I'm going over each Eidolon, because you might not have everything right now, so you want to know what to use right now. I can't give the perfect layout because you won't have that Alucard, for example. Because he is really good, look at that. Look at those stats, they are really fantastic. But you don't have him, and you won't have him anytime soon, you have to use something, right? So you can kinda think and create your own build. It's better than giving you ready-to-go solutions which you can't use. So yeah, that's what you use for the critical stuff. Maybe mix in some really good attack Eidolons if you have, like for example Leona or Ramayan, depending on what you have. So that would help you to increase your crit and damage quite a lot. Now, what do we do with evasion, guys? We'll go to tanking a bit later. For evasion you don't really have a lot of Eidolons. Anthea is really good because, as you can see, she have a good evasion boost over here, and also she is decreasing damage taken by some percentage, so it's a really good boost. And then her skill increase evasion a little bit more, so that's really powerful. And if you are really good with evasion, her ultimate will give you some healing, so nice to have. Moreover, just look at her. You really want to have someone like that in your team, right? Hero is more about movement speed than skills because it's only decreasing damage taken by a small percentage. Maybe at higher amount of stars she would be better, but 1% isn't that much. Avaros is combining movement speed with the additional evasion, so you might consider using him. And Ayagayo one isn't really good because it decreases enemy move speed and have base evasion, which is horrible. Kota's group skill is pretty good here because it recovers your health upon successful evasion, and it chance to increase evasion by 10%, but it's only for 8 seconds and there is a 30-second cooldown. So even when you get it, after that you will have 22 seconds without that boost, so it's not that fantastic, honestly. And her active common skill is decreasing enemy evasion and move speed, so it's not really helping you to evade damage that much. So yeah, she looks cool, but I don't think that she's that useful. Pact again isn't that good as well because he increased base evasion and decreased target's evasion, so he wouldn't help you to evade damage that much as well. So yeah, if I would be building evasion team, I would get those two guys and maybe Kira for additional move speed and damage reduction, and fill other spots with something for life, tanking, or maybe crit, depending on what you want to create, right? It's based on your class. This is a squad I'm using myself for tanking as a Dragoon, so we have a little bit of evasion here, we have a lot of defense boosts over here, and we have some healing. So let's see what do we have here. First of all, we have Xana, which is a rare, but it's really good. I don't really have SR Eidolons good for healing, so I'm using what I have. Each time she uses the skill, she recovers health by 10% of my player's attack, not the Eidolons one, that's really good. And each time my player attacks enemy, there is a 15% chance of recovering 18% of Eidolons attack, so that's some really good passive healing right here. Then I use Mo for the healing because she recovers my HP per second every time she uses skill. Her squad bonus whenever we get hit is giving us a chance to increase all the stats, so it's a really nice buff as well. And her leader skill is really good heal. It recovers players HP by 25% of the attack, and when we have lower than 30% health, it additionally recovers 25% of the attack, so that's really good heal right here. For the defense buff and damage reduction, I'm using the Valk over here. He gives us plain defense boost from the skill He's giving us a really good squad bonus over here. When we are lower than 50% HP, he's generating a shield for us, which blocks 50% of incoming damage and can block 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So that's a nice boost. We use Anthea for the evasion, so we talked about her a little bit more. And I used to use Automaton before because I thought that he's really good because of that really high base def value, but no, that sucks. So I moved on to Milo because he have both of his skills working on the player's defense, not the base one, so it will give us higher stats in the end. Who else do we have here that we haven't talked about? Carlet. His skill is pretty good. When you have him in the high star rating, that will help you a lot. 50% chance to increase player's all stat by some percentage for 5 seconds and remove a debuff each 8 seconds. So it should be kinda nice. Although his squad bonus is lowering the critical strike chance, so it's not that important, I think. Then we have Sirena, which is really good. She have really fantastic squad skill. When she's deployed, she's lowering the damage taken by 5%. That's already crazy. When attacked, there is a chance to recover some percentage of HP per second for 5 seconds. So it's a really good passive healing. And also she have that really nice skill that recovers our health by some percentage of her attack, so that's a nice additional healing. And her ultimate is really good as well. All stats plus 10%, all target stats minus 10% for 5 seconds. Nice stuff. Loki over here is really crazy. Look at his squad bonus. When deployed, players' attack receive 25% chance of increasing defense. And when players' HP drops below 50%, increase attack by some percentage for 8 seconds, but the cooldown is only 12 seconds, so it's kinda be used more often than other skills. That's really OP, and his common skill is decreasing all stats of target with less than some amount of health by some percentage, so it's really good for debuffing an enemy. His ultimate skill though is pretty random, so I wouldn't count on that much, but if you like, you can get all stats bonus, so it could be really nice. For the tanking, I still don't have, well, she's new over here, Sigran. She's really good as well, because when you look at her squad bonus, she's giving a really good boost over here. So every time you've been attacked, there is 25% chance to generate a shield that blocks some percentage of incoming damage for 5 seconds, and it have cooldown of 30 seconds, so it's not that fantastic. But after the shield disappears, it increases attack by some percentage for the next 10 seconds. So it's a good thing for the off tank that does quite a lot of damage as well. And her common skill just increases our defense, so it's really nice. Her ultimate just decreasing target's attack, so it's fantastic as well. And yeah, that's all Eidolons we have right now. So, the conclusion of this video, guys. There are 2 ways you can build your teams. First one, you can boost your stats like I do. When you don't have those SSR Eidolons, that's, in my opinion, the best way to do it. Because when you don't have those SR OP guys, you have to use what you have. And those R and SR guys are really good at increasing the single stat. So you can go for either damage, critical, evasion, defense, HP. Depending on your class, you know which skills are most important for you. If you don't, just check your skills and you will see what boosts them. And the second way is making team of SSR guys, because their skills are so OP and you will like those things working. Even if you don't have them at the highest star rating, it's still pretty good, they still work pretty well. So yeah, that's a good idea as well, depending on what you want to reach. Because if you have some key characters, and most of those key characters are locked for me yet, so Loki, that lady, this guy and this lady, they will do fantastic team because they do so much. Maybe you can add a little bit of evasion with them, or maybe some defense, I don't know, it's up to you. But that team will work way better than any of the SR teams out there, because their skills and their squad bonuses are really nice. So yeah, common skills is used every cooldown seconds and giving you bonuses when it's used. Squad bonuses being given to you when the Eidolon is in your active team, and leader skill is being active only when Eidolon is your leader. That's how you build your teams. I hope I gave you enough information. Let me know in the comments if you created some really good OP Eidolon teams. It's nice to share with the community. And while you're going there, don't forget to leave a like and make sure that you subscribe to the channel and that bell notification are turned to all, otherwise you might miss something And you might want to join our fantastic Discord. We discuss a lot of stuff over there, so that's a nice place to be. The links will be in the description. Also, join me on Twitch. I'm streaming every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, mostly PC games, but we will have a lot of people who like mobile games. We'll dedicate one of the days for the mobile gaming. And join all my social medias. All the links will be over here or in the description. Thank you for watching, comrades. That's about it for now. Soviet out. See ya, comrades. Bye.